Chase a move.
Alright, welcome back to another episode of the Bucket List. It's your girl, Dunlap the Connect, aka Briefcase. I would typically say to the left of me, but as you can see, it's only me. So today we just gonna be rocking and we just gonna see how this goes, you know? So today we're gonna talk about my nickname, aka the Briefcase. One of the reasons why people, well, my team in particular, call me the Briefcase is because, one, I'm the business mind of the group. So I'm a COO, which stands for Chief Operations Officer. So that means I'm really handling all of the business relations, legal aspects, also building the relationships, so serving as a relationship coordinator. Really multiple hats, but it's all targeted towards making sure that this is a legitimate company. A legitimate foundation is being built that can not just serve us as individuals and as creatives, but can serve other people, employ other people, provide and impact other lives. So honestly, because it's just me, I'm going to try to do this as structured as possible and try to give you all as many gems as I can. So we're basically going to start with the basics. So we're going to break down this entire episode on the journey of actually building your own business, what it takes, what those different stages may look like, so forth and so on. And just like anything else that you do, you have to start from the beginning. And what does that beginning look like? Does it start when you have the idea? Does it start when you get your first client? Where does your beginning begin? And for business in particular, the beginning starts with you. And I don't mean just with, oh, I'm going to do this in this industry. Oh, I'm going to create this. I'm going to do that. Or I'm going to partner with this company, so forth and so on. No. Business starts with the person that you are. Your characteristics, your personality, just like anything else in the world. Now, what makes business different is the fact that you're not just dealing with your emotions and how you feel that day. You're dealing with a humanized version of mechanics. What I mean by that is, as a business, as a human, as a person in general, you spend money every single day. The only thing that you don't pay for is the air. And honestly, that comes with a different cost, but we ain't gonna get into that. But if you step outside of the house, you have to pay for that transportation. You have to pay for the venue space that you're going to. Even if you don't own, let's say you're going to a park, there are taxes that are being placed on that park to utilize or occupy that space. So essentially, like I said, you're paying for everything within this world. So when I say business starts with you as a person, and when I say that business is a humanized version, what we do is a humanized version of business. What I do is a humanized version of business. I say that to say, in its optimal form, you have to work every single day. That means Sunday to Monday. I mean, not Sunday to Monday. Sunday to Sunday. 365 days of the year, 24/7. But what makes it human is the fact that that's not how we operate. We can't work 24/7. We have to go to sleep. We have to do this. We have to do that. So what are you going to put your time into when you are awake? Now, we're going back to the characteristic. Who are you as a person? Now, me, as we further break down what business looks like, and we know we get into the nitty-gritty, the way I go about business is going to be different from the way some people before me have gone about business. It's going to be different from the way that somebody after me may go about business. And an example of that, historically, there have been people that only focus about the money. If it ain't making money, it ain't making sense. So let's say I have a very talented individual, amazing, but the people, that means you, that means the consumer, you don't know nothing about this person. And after you meet them, it's just something about them, and yeah, I don't like them. So because of that, that person is deemed as, that person's talent can't be monetized, because essentially business is about optimizing the volume of engagement that creates the monetary flow needed to continue that business. So what that looks like is you got Kobe. Kobe was a monetized player. In the business world, you can have a player that could be equally as talented as him, but because there were so many people worldwide that gravitated towards Kobe Bryant, as a business person, I'm going to choose to market Kobe Bryant, work with Kobe Bryant, do everything I can with him, because I know if I put a product to that man's name, there are guaranteed individuals that are going to go and buy that product, go and interact with that website, that account, that tag, that platform, whatever, just because they like Kobe Bryant. So that's just a little bit about the business world in general, and what type of mentality that it's trying to adapt in different niches. And a niche is basically a small segment of a market, of a target market. So a mass target market would be middle schoolers, high schoolers. But a niche target market would be high schoolers that only wear khaki pants. That's my niche. I'm only catering to high schoolers that wear khaki pants. That's it. Not people that wear black pants, not people that wear blue pants, but people that wear khaki pants. So that's just a simple, like a kind of abstract definition of what a niche is. So going back to what I was saying. So you as an individual, now, there are different people that do different businesses. Yes, we know that. Cool. But there will be people that are all about the money. There will be people that will only gravitate towards niche people. So they'll only gravitate towards race car driving. They only want to work in that field. There are only people that want to work with creatives. There are only people that are going to work with movie directors or in the film industry. And there are also different elements that kind of make that deeper as well. But essentially what I want to get you to think, because I'm giving all of this, I'm going to talk about this subject because I want to help creatives. If you have an idea, if you have a goal, if you have something that you feel like you're talented in. I was just talking to a fashion designer today, amazingly skilled, but they only charge me, well, not to put their business out there, but I ain't put no name, but they only charged me $35. $35 to do a full alterations for a suit. Now, normally, that would be okay if they just started sewing yesterday. Okay, that's cool. That's understandable. But as a person that has gotten experience, as a person that has reviews, which is a very key, all of these are key parts of building a legitimate business. So when you're thinking about, okay, what do I need to consider to be successful? Well, you have to get the basics first. You have to get experience. And that experience can come at a free 99, because nobody knows, nobody has any credibility. And, the world is, although it can be a great place, there's a dark side to it as well. You can get screwed over. And that has happened to people. So people are not just willing to say, hey, here's all my money. I'm going to give you $1,000, knowing that you just started doing a project, knowing that you just started singing. I want you to invest that $1,000. They're not going to do that realistically, because they have to see proof. So when you're first starting out, yeah, it'll be that free 99, because I need to see it. I need to see that you're willing to put in that work even without the money being presented to you. So I'm going to pause right there and go back to what I said. You as an individual, what's your motivation? If you're trying to make it, why are you trying to make it? Is it just for the money? Is that your motivation to get out of bed? Is that what drives your business? And business, that can be different things. Your business can be going to your 9 to 5, going to your job. And nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. But what I want to challenge you all, as I'm trying to, educate you about the business world and the business aspect of what we do here at the Bucket List, it's really just answering the questions that so many have asked me, or answering the questions that I've had to ask myself. So again, what drives you? What drives your business? Because at the end of the day, your business is you. If you don't show up, you have no business. If you don't complete that task, you have no business. So what drives you? Is it the money? Is it the gratitude that you feel for the skill that you have? Is it the reviews that you get from a client that just loves what you've created, and that feeling of the feeling of impacting somebody else's life? So that's your foundation. That's what starts. That's even before you get the idea. Those are things you have to consider, because when you understand who you are going into the business world, when you meet those individuals that are on the more extreme side of, hey, if I say be here at 5:02, be here at 5:02. Yes, time is precious. Yes, you have to be considerate of other people's time. That doesn't mean, at 5 o'clock I'm going to get up out the house and just leave out. It doesn't mean that, but essentially what it means is, okay, am I somebody that's going to be willing to say, hey, look, there's 30 minutes of traffic. I left out the house 5 o'clock, supposed to be here at 5:30. Traffic surprised me. I ain't get here till 6. Are you going to be willing to understand that person and still work with them? Or are you going to be willing to just be like, you know what, I'm going to skip out my money, go about my business? And honestly, as I'm talking about it, I see that I'm jumping at different spots at the same time. So let's go all the way back, like I said. Let's go back to the beginning. So stage 0. Who are you as a person? What's motivating you to turn that talent into money? What's motivating you to get out of bed, get out the house, and go do what you love to do? All right, now we're at step 1. What's your idea? What's your skill? And I know I jumped directly into this conversation because when we talk about business, it's so broad. It's so many things I can talk about right now. I can talk about filling out the appropriate documentations you need, the importance of filling out those documentations, and I will talk about that. But the reason that I dove so quickly into this conversation is the fact that you have to know the root first before we even get to the actual business from the popular standpoint. So the five 501c3s, the LLCs. Before we even get into that, you have to answer these questions. So we're in stage 1 and you're asking yourself, what is my talent? What do I want to do? What makes me happy? Even if it's just helping somebody else build out a vision, joining a team, does that make you happy? Okay, that's your business. You're there to serve. Serving is your business. So once you understand that, now it's like, okay, what is stage 2 and how do I get there? Well, stage 2 is actually doing it. Stage 2 is saying, okay, I know this is what I want to do. I know this is what I love to do. I know this is what makes me happy. Now, how do I make that my own? How do I put my personality in there? And once you answer that question, you have to start doing it. Now, this stage is a little tricky because this stage can stop a lot of people. And notice how we're just on stage 2. This stage stops many people because when you have to do it, you also have to consider, okay, and you actually have to look into the mirror. Do I have the confidence to do this? Do I have the confidence to say, okay, I believe in myself and I believe in what I'm producing, what I'm creating, and I'm going to actually bring it to life? Then you have to turn around and look at your surroundings and at your environment. Well, for some people, they might not have come around a lot of money. So let's say they're living in this rundown house and funds are very, very limited, and they're looking around and everybody around them is doing the same thing every day, talking the same type of way. Man, I got this job, man. Forget this job, man. I'm about to go into these streets. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they're saying. And you have this idea, and then you look around you, and you might get to thinking, man, I can't do that, bro. Look at where I'm at. I can't do that. Or you got people around you, and they're saying, man, that ain't never been done before, bro. Like, bro, you can't even do that, bro. That's impossible, man. That's not even real. Like, you living in a fairy tale. You need to come back to reality type joint. You feel me? And you actually have to look at that environment, even if you come from money. Let's say you come from money, you got everything around you. I ain't got to worry about nothing. But what do I want to do in this world? Do I want to live off somebody else's money? Or do I want to continue that journey of making sure that I'm confident enough in my own ideas and my own creations, and go through the grit of having to build and actualize the vision that you have in your eyes? Then you could be somebody from the middle. You ain't broke, you know what I'm saying? You got a good little house. You in a good neighborhood. You ain't got to really complain too much. But everybody has their own expectations for you. You got to go here. You got to do this. Man, don't do that. You need to go over here and you need to focus on this. Are you still going to have the confidence to be like, I know that's what you think I should do, but I want to do this. I'm going to pursue this. Then you look around, look down, check your pockets, and you realize, man, I ain't got the equipment or the money or the funds to get the equipment I need. Well, I gotta take these extra steps, do all this extra work just to make something happen. I ain't gonna do that. Nah. I'm just tripping anyway. Are you gonna allow that type of conversation to go on? This is stage 2, by the way. This is still stage 2. you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to just leave it like that. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. I'm going to just do what I got to do to make ends meet. Or I'm going to do what I got to do to just preserve what I've been given. Or I'm going to just do what somebody else told me to do. Or are you going to say, yeah, regardless of everything around me, regardless of the money, regardless of the people that are telling me I can't do something, or the people that they might be trying to support you, but they might just be trying to warn you about the realities of the world and just put in your head things that you might want to consider. Are you going to take that in and be like, okay, I recognize that, I consider that, but I'm going to still do what I said I'm going to do? So where are you? Are you still at stage 2? Or are you trying to go to stage 3? So stage 3, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're finding your flow. You're figuring out what you like, what you don't like. And this could be, and I'm speaking so broadly because this can apply to so many passions, projects, even people that are in the workforce, that are employed under another company. If you're in that doing stage, that stage 2 of actually executing what you say you're gonna do, now you're moving to stage 3. So stage 3, I'm doing it. Now I'm starting to get some experience. I'm starting to get some feedback. So now I have to ask, all right, stage 3, how do I expand? How do I move forward? How do I grow? Well, this is where the business comes into play. Because even though in your heart you may feel like, man, I can do this for free all day long. Well, here goes the reality. This is where the business world comes into play, because, baby, everything ain't free. There might be some things in some relationships you may be able to be like, hey, look, let's crack a deal, just mess with me, fuck with me, you feel me? Like, put me on real quick and I'll show you what I can do. And they may fuck with you. But they can't fuck with you for long because they got to pay their bills. Especially as you get older, the responsibilities grow as well, whether you like it or not. So, stage 3, you're trying to figure out how to build your own brand. Now, that means you got to start putting a price tag on your stuff. Going back to the gentleman that I was talking about earlier. They said $35 for full suit alterations. Now, I'm not I am business savvy, but I'm not fashion savvy. You feel me? I'm not a seamstress. You feel me? So, to me, $35 period is kind of cheap. But for work, for your time, the materials it takes to actually create what you're trying to create or the thing that you're trying to do, and then the transportation to take it to and from that person, and again, the labor it takes, that labor it takes to actually create the equipment or to use the equipment, to buy the equipment, to do what you're actually trying to do. That takes money. So you're in stage 3. Stage 3, you have to start putting a price tag to your product, to your artistry, and start creating your value and establishing your value. And when we talk about value, there are stages to value. Some people will tell you, man, well, one thing I live by, everything is up for negotiation. It just depends on who you messing with. Now, some people, there is no negotiation. You'll just have to negotiate with yourself. Am I going to compromise here or am I not? Who knows? You got to make that decision. But you got to put a price tag. It comes with a price tag, period. So let's going back to that 35. Typically, what I'm asking for is 500 plus. Depending on the fabric I'm requesting of, depending on how meticulous the artist is. So if they're going to fully break down a suit to put it all together, like so forth and so on. But they're charging me 35, and I told them, hey, look, I'll pay you 50. Because you told me 35, so I ain't finna just, give you like 150 off the bat. No, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna pay you what you asked for. But I'm gonna give you 50 just because I just feel like, I know that you're undervaluing the product and the work that you're putting in. And on top of that 50, if nobody else has told you, you need to be charging 150 for what I just asked you. Minimum. 150 for what I ask you. And if you want to keep that 35, that's where you're comfortable at. Charge it for one piece, not a full suit. Maybe like the pants. Maybe, 75 for the pants, shirt. You feel me? Whatever. But at least I was willing to give you options. Or, be honest with you and telling you that you're undervaluing your product, especially when I know it's good. When I've heard it's been good, when I had those reviews to say, man, this is amazing artist, this is amazing product, this is high quality. And again, these are the fundamentals that make your business successful. That feedback. If somebody told me, man, this man is trash, I wouldn't pay him nothing, bro. He gave me back, I ain't even gonna wear it. Then I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna give you 35, my guy. But because they had good feedback, because they had clientele that were willing to come back, because I could see and hear the passion that they had, it's like, bro, I know whether I give you nothing, you're still going to put 110% in the product that you just gave me. And I appreciate that. And it's to my liking and to yours. And I value that. So I'm going to give you this. So that's stage 2. Now, some people, genuine artists, will do stuff for free. Yes, cool. But when you're trying to make yourself a profitable business, you have to incorporate all those 4 things that I said: your time, the transportation it takes, so that could be shipping, the labels it takes to ship, that's the equipment, and then that labor as well, because what if you're working with extremely dangerous materials? Yes, it takes you an hour to do it, but within that hour, my life is almost on the line. So, that hour might be worth 100, but to be honest, plus the equipment and the transportation and the shipping and the labels that I have to do, that might bump it up to 200 or 350. Plus the environment that I'm in to create it, let's say it's super dangerous, bro. That's another 150. So you really at 500 right now. So when people give you prices, man, it's so expensive. Why is they charging so much for this? You got to consider all those factors. So what's your value? And again, value comes at a gradual stage. Value is not just those 4 things that I mentioned, but it's also, okay, I have 5 clients that come to me, but those 5 clients are at a recognizable market level that exceeds $1,000. So let's say I'm just starting out, I'm a rapper, whatever. Everybody I work with, you don't even know. But all of a sudden, I got a song with Cardi B, I got a song with Megan. You think I'm still finna charge you $150 for the products I've been creating? I mean, I still can out of the kindness of my heart. But with a business mindset, no, baby. My prices went up because the level of my clientele has gone up. So now that I have clients like Megan, who I know is now telling her friends, they telling their friends, well, now I'm in a new price bracket. My prices have to rise, not because of what I'm producing and the quality of it, but because the network that my products are now surrounded in has grown, it has elevated. So the prices have to reflect that elevation, because it's no longer the same, piece or product or song that's being sung down the street by Day them. You feel me? Nah, like my stuff is it done hit the worldwide market. So now I gotta reflect worldwide value. So now we're going to stage 4. Okay, I done got my value together, you feel me? I got my nice little rates. I'm building up my clientele, steadily working, you know what I'm saying? Grinding, hustling, putting all this money in, putting all this time in. But now, there's the government. And one thing a lot of people would like to do, even myself, if I go out and we get a sponsorship by, let's say, Sprite. We don't have a sponsorship by Sprite. But let's say we got a sponsorship by Sprite. If we're now in stage 4 and we've put a value on our stuff, Sprite wants to sponsor us, and Sprite is like, look, at the end of the year, in the middle of the year, we have to do our taxes. We have to account for what we've spent, where the money is going, how it's coming back, so forth and so on. And they come at me, they're like, bro, we love what you doing. Oh, it's amazing. We want to join you. We see the vision. We love the content. Oh my gosh, this is great. They come back, they say, okay, so are you a LLC? Are you a limited liability company? Who is reporting your finances? Where is that money going? Because, like I said, a lot of people, including myself, would love to just take all that money from events, put it in their pockets, and then when I feel like it, I'll put that money into making another event happen, or put that money into a product. Excuse me. But I would love to do that. But we live in a civilized environment now. You can't just do that. This ain't the black market. You can live in the black market if you want to, but you gonna get locked up eventually. You get big enough, or you make enough fuss on the radar of the feds, they coming for you. And unfortunately, this is being recorded at a time where there's evidence of that happening. We can't just push it under the rug. Like, they got Thug off of Rico, bro. That man is locked up because of not the way he handled his music business, but the way he handled his personal business. So, if you're not recording the written documentation legally is classified as anything written in ink on paper. Even if you just write a note, that's legally that's legally binding. So that means if you write, okay, I owe Dunlap, aka Briefcase, $100 million for this event. That means legally, if you don't pay me that $100 million, I can go to the judge, be like, Judge, they ain't pay me that $100 million, and it's been 2 years. And they said they was gonna have it to me August 15th, 2017, 2020. You feel me? Like, now the judge can be like, oh, okay, they wrote that down, they signed it with their hand. Bet. Let's go get them, because they owe you that. Let's say you text me, hey, man, I owe you $50, bro. My fault. I'm going to give it to you the other day, bro. I meant to give it to you the other day, bro, but I got you tomorrow, bro. Now, again, this goes back to stage 1, and this is why I said you gotta ask yourself, what type of business person are you going to be? Are you going to be like, okay, man, I'm going to get that money back. I'm going to forgive it. You know, I ain't going to trip too hard. I ain't even going to, press it if they don't give me that money back. But if you're a hardcore business person, hey, man, they sent you that text, delivered, timestamp. You owe me that $50, bro. You can take that to a judge. Hey, I wanna file a civil suit against this individual because they didn't pay me that money. So going back to your artistry as a business, you have to document where your money for your business is going. You have to ask yourself, okay, do I want to actually put in enough time, energy, and dedication to this craft, to this artistry, to where I need to file a LLC? Am I gonna do this? Am I gonna do this by myself? And honestly, I really don't even have time to go into the different legal implications that you can apply, because LLC is the automatic one. That's probably what you hear the most. But there are different levels of corporations. There's S corps, C corps. That is more associated to real estate. And then you have multiple. I forgot. I think it's not multiplicity. That's something else. But there's a file that you can classify your business as where it has multiple partners. So or a two partnership company. But those details, that's a whole nother episode. But just going back to, if you are willing to take that extra step, you have to document everything. Because if you're not paying taxes on your business, again, you are, one, operating as if you are in the black market. That's not just going to you. That's not your personal income, because if you're a songwriter, that song isn't just applied to you because you had somebody to produce it, you had somebody to master it, mix it, so forth and so on, publish it, distribute it. And when the government goes back and like, oh man, you making $20,000 is coming in, not your bank account. But when you file your taxes, you only got a salary job that's paying you $10,000 a year or $10,000 in 1 month, but you bring in $20,000 a month. Where that other $10,000 coming from? So you have to take that extra step. And honestly, that's what I do here at the Bucket List. I'm the one that's like, hey, look, bro, if we buying hats, send me that receipt for that hat. How much is that hat? I'm writing down everything. And honestly, it's to the point where now you don't have to write down everything. I do suggest that you all try to get you an accountant to look at your stuff. Taxes in general. I know somebody referred me to H&R Block one time. There's an app called QuickBooks. That's a great resource to use to track your actual spending, and you can classify it as either a personal expense or a business expense. But you have to do that. You have to, when you transfer from doing something passionately to doing something for business, you have to consider the extra steps that normally you wouldn't consider in a passion. In a passion, you're just doing it because you love it. Oh, I got free time on my hands, I'm going to just draw a painting real quick. But if you're trying to exchange money, now you have to record it because you just took somebody else's money. So where is that money going to? What is that money being invested in? And that's why people say and preach and talk about finances and the importance of financial literacy so much, because if you're not keeping track of your funds, one, there's something called a refund check. And a lot of people go crazy because they like, man, oh, I'm getting all this money from the city. Oh, I'm getting all this money from the government. Oh, I got my refund check. I'm about to spend it. Well, as a company, you get that same refund check, or you get write-offs more specifically. So if I donate, let's say if we collaborate with let's say we collaborate with a school and we donate probably 100 mics or 100 pieces of equipment for fashion designers to a school. Well, now we can go into our business documents and files and say, hey, we utilize this money to donate to this institution or this school, so forth and so on. Well, what the government would do would be like, oh, okay, you did that donation. Oh, okay, you had to spend how much for transportation to go on that business trip? Or you had to spend how much to go to this event and make this event happen? All right, well, we'll write that off your taxes and we'll deduct it from what you have to pay us back for what you've been doing as the bucket list. So that's stage 4. You have to be able to first recognize that. Recognize the importance, because you can try to play with it all day, and there are so many examples of successful individuals like Martha. I don't know if it was Martha. I think it was Martha Stewart. Whoever that lady was that was chilling with Snoop, they got locked up because of tax evasion or tax fraud. There was another celebrity just recently. It was like the Chrisleys or something, and they done got convicted of tax evasion or tax fraud. So they gonna wait. The government gonna get you regardless. And the thing about the government is they'll wait till you super successful. You making thousands, millions. And they be like, huh, you making all this money. So when the last time you submitted that to us? Oh, you did it? Oh, okay, we gonna get you. We gonna get you, and we gonna have all the appropriate documents ready, prepared, and solidified, signed off, and we gonna come get you with the cuffs. So you may think in the moment, oh, I'm getting away with this, or I'm getting a pocket this, or I'm fixing these numbers to make it look good. All right, keep playing. And this is kind of showing the type of business individual that I am, because the way in which I like to handle business, first of all, I like to be honest. I would like to be honest about the investment, not just in your time, but in the money that you'll have to put before you actually start seeing a return. Because the truth of the matter is it a great path to own and be an entrepreneur and own your own business and do this and do that? Yes, it's an amazing investment. It's an amazing choice. But everything comes with sacrifice. So if you're going to invest your time, well, first of all, if you're building something from the ground up, don't nobody know about it but you. So that means you're going to have to, for however long it takes for you to hit that, oh, I went viral moment, you're going to have to invest your own money sometimes. If you can't get grants, if you can't get donations, if you don't have, consistent monetary flow, you have to make your own investments when you can. So me as an individual, I like to be honest about that. Okay, this is relatively an estimate of around the amount of time it'll take, the amount of money that it'll take as an investment to actually get this up and running and make your business profitable. And what profitable means is you're spending money, yes, but you're making enough money to have some type of monetary return. So, like, let's say for these hats, it takes what, $25 to first buy the hat. Then it probably takes first you gotta buy the hat, then you gotta get it embroidered. And this is just stage 1 of these hats, so there will be higher quality hats coming out soon. Well, within the course of our own business. But as of right now, yeah, it takes about 25. But you can't just what's the word? You can't just you can't just break even. There it is. You can't just break even. So if I sell you this hat for 25, I got $0 back. I mean, that's cool. That's great. I sold it for what I paid for it. That's perfect. But in order for me to do that again, to make multiple hats so that more people can buy, I have to have some type of return. Because if I had $0 in the bank and I went into debt and made a $25 hat and sold it to you for 25, which is what I feel like is why the government operates off of a deficit or off of debt. Like, the foundation of our government's business operates off of debt. So essentially, in a microscope of that, what I just said, yeah, I got $0 in my bank account, but I invested whatever I needed to create this hat, and it cost me, if I had money, $25. So if I sold it to you for 25 and I get $0 back, that means whoever I had to go to, whatever I had to do to make that money, to create it in the first place, I have to keep doing it again. And honestly, if we're talking about growth and improving your environment, I don't want to do that. I want to work smarter, not harder. So I'm going to charge you $35, $45. So now when I sell it to you, okay, let's say I do 45. All right, 45. What is that, like? What, 45, 25 to bring that back down? What is that like? It's not 20. 15. So we at 15. So now I got $15 in the bank. So now it's like, okay, bet. I got $15 now, so a quarter of the stuff that I had to do, half the stuff that I had to do to make this hat in the first place, I don't have to do that. So I can just do half of what I did before. Now, okay, bet, I move forward. And if these numbers not right, don't charge it to my head. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever. Y'all get the concept. The concept and the principle is what's most important. So I got this money, now I can operate in a better way than what I did before. And I keep operating to the point where not only am I not breaking even, but now I'm creating enough profit to where I don't have to do what I did in the beginning. I can just keep making smarter moves with the material that I'm making, still making sure that it's quality, and making sure that I'm now getting to you something that, one, you still love, and something that is continuing to build my business and my brand. So that's step 4. Now we at step 5. You doing this. You making the money, you making the value, you making profit. You have your documentation. That's the most important. If you're actually going to be a business, you have to have paperwork behind you. A business is not just you creating. A business is you creating and documenting and filing the necessary paperwork needed to classify you under the government's the government standards as an operational and legitimate business. You have to be in good standing, period, point blank, fees and all. So you done that. You're in step 4. You thriving. You building. Now we get to step 5, expanding. How do I expand? Well, you got to network. How do I network? Well, you got to get out the house. You got to get out the house. You got to talk to people. You have to make people see what you do. And that can look like many different things. And again, I hope y'all are seeing the patterns and the intricacies of everything that I've talked about thus far, because honestly, everything ties into each other. So if you're trying to network and make your product even more noticeable, seen, get a broader target market, or just enter your product into the market in general. The market is just consumers, people that's going to buy it. So if you're trying to do that, well, if I'm an individual that doesn't if I'm introverted, that means I need to get to somebody and wear my product that is an extrovert. They telling people for me. If I'm a networker and I only network in a certain, niche group, let's say I only network with people that like anime. Well, if these people not buying my product, you need to, one, get the anime people to talk about your stuff to their anime friends so they can figure out who is going to actually mess with you or not. Or 2, you got to get uncomfortable And all these things are stuff that we've talked about already on the show. But when it comes to business, it's about the discipline and dedication to keep doing that over a consistent, repeated basis. Because again, we using money every single day, and business is literally the art of making money to spend money. Because we not keeping it. Everything that y'all send to us is going into these events, is going into this equipment. Even before we came to this studio, man. And it's only going to get bigger because we want to serve more people. We want to help impact more people. So, again, you have to get out there. You have to get uncomfortable, because if nobody knows, nobody's going to pay. So, I want to definitely go deeper into this topic. I want to give y'all more tips. But like I said, it's so much that, honestly, I'm going to have to hear from you. You have to tell me what you want to know. So, in this video, drop down the comments or the questions that you have for me. What do you want to know? What did I not answer in this episode that you want to learn more of? And I'll answer it. I'll tell you how I do it. Just, you have to stay tuned though. You have to click the link in the bio. You got to follow us on IG at DABUKETLIST, the bucket list. You feel me? You have to subscribe to our channel, because at the end of the day, if you don't know, how am I gonna know? So again, if you have a question, concern, or you just want to learn more resources that you can go to help you get to that next stage that you want to be in, then yeah, tell me. Let me know. Put it down below. We read the comments. I will read the comments. Y'all know I don't mess with the social media too much, but when it comes to business, I'm fully engaged, because I know the business that I exude and execute can help impact and influence others. And at the end of the day, I want to do that in a positive manner. I don't want to keep you stagnant. I don't want to keep you at stage 0. I want to get you at stage 5 so we can figure out how to get to stage 6. Stage 6, hey man, I'm trying to get to stage 6. Stage 6, I'll let you know when I get there so we can talk about it. You feel me? But as far as what you need to know to actually make it, to get started, there's the foundation. If you want to be a legitimate business in this creative space, even if you're not in the creative space, let's say, well, I mean, honestly, as a writer, you're a creative. That's creativity. But let's just say you in, whatever job you in. You'll say you in the gas station industry. If you want to figure out how to make your own gas station, again, it's about the principle. These are the principles that you need to get to where you want to be. Legitimately. You feel me? So, typically, we would have the bucket list challenge. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what to do for that. But let me see what's in the bucket. Yo, I'm so weak. Alright, so if y'all know, this was with us last time when we brought in our new members. And I did not know this. I just grabbed the bucket and came. If y'all knew the backstory about this day, crazy. But for the bucket list challenge, what I'll do, hold on, let me not make my foot look bad. It's not a hard top to open. I'm just tired. But yeah, so this will be my bucket list challenge. I hope, like I said, everything that we said today was helpful to you. Everything that I said today was helpful to you. there's a whole other segment in business courtesy that I will have to tell y'all about. All right. But yeah. So, all right. I did my bucket list challenge. Cool. Like I said, I hope everything that we talked about today helps. I say we because I'm just used to talking in third person because I know that it's not just me that executes in the way that I do. It takes a team. It always takes a team, even if it just starts with you. But with that being said, you already know who it is. It's the bucket list. It's Dunlap, the Connect, a.k.a. Briefcase. Always got my bag with me. You see the merch right here, you feel me? So, like, subscribe, comment down below. You already know. So, peace. I'll see y'all next episode.